yoga teacher here at Complete City Health. For today's practice, we're moving a little more dynamically than the last video. We'll be doing a more vinyasa flow style class. Just as always, if it feels like you need to rest or modify, please do that. Honour the body, just honour the breath. And we're going to start standing. So come up to the top of the mat. And if it feels 100% comfortable to have your feet together, then have your feet together. Otherwise, maybe for this first one, take the feet hip distance apart. Shrug the shoulders, just let the arms fall alongside the body and close your eyes. And just a couple of breaths here to settle and to arrive on your mat. You're just beginning the process of letting go of your day, and letting go of your week. And giving yourself this time to be present. And we stay present and connected to the body by keeping the awareness on the breath. So let's take 3 more breaths here. Ready, just open your eyes and toe heel your feet together to touch. Now pressing down into your feet as you inhale, send your arms up into the air. And with your exhale breath, bow forwards, bring the hands down to the earth. Now as you inhale, halfway lift, so lengthen the spine, draw the crown of your head forwards. And as you exhale, plank pose, plant your hands down, step your feet back. Let's take 3 breaths here in plank. Shoulders over wrists, heels over toes. And can you lengthen the body, press the heels back, move the crown of your head forwards. Take a deep breath in. And now as you breathe out, lower slowly to the floor, place the knees down and hug your elbows in. And now inhale, cobra pose. As you inhale, peel your chest open. And as you exhale, downward facing dog, press down into the hands and lift the hips up and back. And so first downward facing dog, if it feels like you want to move a little, maybe bending the knees, just walking out your legs. And coming back, as always, to that slow and steady rhythm of breath. One more inhale and slow exhale. And now lifting high onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look forwards and step your feet together at the top of your mat. As you inhale, take a halfway lift so you lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, folding forwards. And now rising to stand. As you inhale, take your arms up into the air. And as you exhale, hands in front of your heart. Good. Again, just like that. Inhale, send the arms back up into the air. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Use the whole breath out. As you inhale, half lift. Try to press the chest forwards. And then exhale, plank pose. This time, just one inhale. Now shift forwards, can you lower halfway down? Good, now drop and rise into cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. And press firmly down into your hands. See if you can start to straighten your arms. And as your shoulders begin to lift towards your hips lift up and your heels press down. One more breath. And then lifting your heels, you bend the knees, look to hands, step or maybe float. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forwards as you exhale. And again, all the way to stand, use the inhale breath to lift you up. And then exhale to bring hands in front of your heart. So one more time. Breathing in, arms rise. And breathing out to fold. And breathing in to lift. And now exhale, plank to low plank. So same breath out. You can drop for cobra or rise for upward facing dog. The legs are lifted. Downward facing dog as you exhale. So know that you can rest at any time. Child's pose to catch the breath. Otherwise, downward facing dog is our resting pose. It doesn't make it a lazy pose, so keep working the hands, and the shoulders, the hips, the heels. Last breath in and full breath out. Good, now heels lift high, knees bend, look forward, step or float. And then halfway lift, inhale. Folding forwards as you exhale. Now bring your feet together, big toes touch. Bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. So as you sit down into your legs, see if you can keep your ankle bones together and your knees together. And then sending weight back into your heels, start to lift your chest. Take a deep breath in. Now breathe out, fold forwards. As you inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plank to low plank, so chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Downward facing dog, exhale. Now with your inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. And as you exhale, step your right foot forwards in between your hands. You're going to stay on the ball of your left foot, press down into your feet and come up, crescent lunge. And just soften your back knee a little. See if you can move your hip bones up towards your rib cage. You draw your tailbone down. And just like Utkatasana, go up with your fingertips, move down with your shoulders, take one more breath in. As you breathe out, bring your hands to the mat. Step it back into plank, and you lower slowly down. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, downward facing dog. The left leg rises as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, step forwards. Stay on the ball of your back foot, so press down into your feet and then rise, crescent lunge. Shoulders back. Heart moves forwards and up. And keep a soft bend in your back knee. One more breath in. And then hands to the earth as you breathe out. Step back, plank pose to lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And full breath out. Now lift your heels, bend your knees, look forwards, you step or you float, your choice. And then halfway lift, fold forwards and bow. And feet together, big toes touch. Utkatasana, take the arms up. And now exhale, bring hands in front of your heart. So as you inhale now, start to lengthen. And as you exhale, twist. Bring your left elbow to your right thigh. You stay down in your legs. Go forwards with the heart, forwards with the crown of your head. And last inhale. Full exhale to stay. Now inhale, chair. You can release the legs for a moment. And exhale to twist to the other side. So right elbow hooks the left thigh. You can look over your left shoulder. Try to bring the hands to the center of the chest. One more breath. Good. Now inhale, chair, all the way up to stand. And exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and lower, or you can go straight to downward facing dog now if you like. from downward facing dog, we'll drop the knees to the mat. And keep your hips over your knees, just walk your hands forwards. This is Anahatasana, heart melting pose. And you might have the forehead down. If it's really strong on your shoulders, take your arms wider apart. But if you think you have more space, some of you will be able to bring the chin to the floor. And lower belly draws in. Breathe into your upper back. Take one more breath in. And then slow breath out. Lift your ribs up and bring your forearms down. So we're coming into dolphin pose. When you come into dolphin, you want the elbows to be directly underneath your shoulders. Forearms parallel, fingers spread. When you tuck your toes under, lift your hips and walk your feet in. And now feel like everything is pressing away from the floor. So as your thighs press back, your heart presses up towards the top of your thighs. Relax the back of your neck and your head. This is not an easy pose. One more breath in. And then full breath out. Take your feet to the back of your mat and come into forearm plank. And so long line of energy between the heels to the hips, the heart and the crown of your head. Last breath in. And then breathe out, release. Drop your hips down. Hands by your rib cage as you inhale, come up. And now downward facing dog as you breathe out. 3 breaths. And when you're ready, inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Now as you exhale, tiger curl and bring right knee to navel. Again, inhale, right leg rises. And exhale, tiger curl, knee to navel. One more time, breathing in, lift right leg high. Now breathing out to step right foot forwards. Good, stay on the ball of your back foot, come back up into crescent lunge as you breathe in. Now as you breathe out, hands come to heart. And as you inhale, lengthen forwards. As you exhale, twist. So left elbow, right thigh. And see if you can power through your back leg. So you feel your back thigh lift up towards the ceiling. And use your breath. So as you inhale, you find length. And as you exhale, you twist. And I know it's hard to breathe in this pose. One more breath in. And now breathe out, release, and turn towards your left foot for Skandasana. Your left knee will bend, and your right leg will straighten. And so hands will be underneath your shoulders. And you soften your hips down. And take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, hands forwards to the top of your mat. Press your left hand down, stabilize your left shoulder, and come to side plank. Right foot stacks on top of left. Reach your right arm to the sky. Good, maybe start to lift your right leg up. And start to reach your right arm forwards, bend your right knee and drop your toes behind your left leg. And now nice and slow, come back around, right hand down. Take right leg to sky, inhale. And again, tiger curl, knee into navel. Find plank as you inhale and down as you exhale. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises to sky. As you exhale, left foot outside your left hand. Yeah, if it doesn't make it all the way, just help it through with your hands, that's okay. And as you come into lizard, You can drop the back knee down if you like. It's a little more, it's still a good hip opener, but it's just not quite as strong. And you might stay here on your hands, you might come to forearms, so lots of different options. You might find that you're tighter on one side than on the other. So just noticing, staying aware of the body. It's without any judgment, you're not attaching to it, but just noticing. You notice if your head has dropped to look at your back foot. See if you can keep lifted in your chest. 3 more breaths. And if you're on your hands, or if you're on your forearms, come back onto your hands. Build a little bit of momentum, so start to rock your hips forwards and back. And again, we're stepping the right foot outside the right hand. And then drop your hips, Malasana squat. Now let's stay for 5 breaths here. Palms pressing together, knees opening. See if you can lift your chest. Good. It can help a little if you rock from left to right, just to move the sensation around your hip joint. And we'll have one more little play at the arm balance. And these arm balances take time. A lot of it's just repetition. And so maybe this time you might be closer. Bring your hands down, feet together, knees wide. And then the idea, if you can get your knees really far up your arms, because they'll slide down when you start to come up. So look towards the top of your mat. Try not to look down towards the feet. And as you begin to shift forwards, maybe just try and lift one toe. Maybe both. Maybe feet lift off the earth at the same time. Crow pose. And try and breathe. One more breath. And then feet come down. This time step it back into plank pose. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, lower down. As you inhale, we lift up. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Last downward facing dog. And we'll come straight through to lay down on our backs now. So look towards your hands. Give yourself a little jump. And then roll all the way down onto your back. Good. Feet come flat to the floor. Knees pointing straight up to the ceiling. And just draw your shoulder blades together underneath your body and lengthen the arms alongside. Good. So maybe just touch your heels with your longest finger. And then pressing down into the feet, start to lift your hips up, bridge pose. And you can interlace your hands behind you and pull your knuckles towards your heels. Lift your heart in the opposite direction. And keep your knees moving straight forwards. Inner thighs spiral in and down. One more inhale. Now exhale, slowly release. Just let your hips come back down. Try not to fidget or move. Just let the back bend settle and sink in. And we'll take one more. So if you need to reset your feet, reset your feet. Shoulders roll under, feet press down, hips lift up. Again, shoulders roll under a little bit more as you interlace your hands and lift up with the hips. And you can see your chest rise and fall in this pose, so deep, deep breaths. And 2 more. And now lift up, release your hands, and slowly roll down. And bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees open wide. And just bring your hands to rest on your heart, on your belly, close your eyes. And feel the physical effects of your practice. And if your heart rate is increased, you can slow that down by slowing down your breath. And then let the hands just come to the knees, draw your knees in together. Hug your knees into your chest. And we'll place the hands underneath the knees and start to rock and roll up the length of the spine. And give yourself a couple of goes to come all the way up. See if you can catch Navasana boat pose. Hands can reach towards the feet. Maybe the legs straighten. Maybe the arms lift. Good, smile at your toes. Take a deep breath in. Good, and then as you breathe out, release. Come down. And we'll take Paschimottanasana, forward fold to finish. So sit down through your sitting bones. Send your arms back up into the air. Take a full breath in. And now as you breathe out, fold forwards and try to lead with your heart and let your hands just rest wherever they lay. So it might be the feet, might be the ankles, the calves. And then take another breath in as you press your chest forwards. And then exhale to fold. Often these poses are harder than the more dynamic poses. It requires stillness. So notice if your mind has wandered, just bring it back to the breath. And last breath in. Gently coming all the way back up. You'll roll all the way back down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. We'll finish with a spinal twist. So wrap your right leg all the way over your left. Extend your arms out, shoulder height, and start to drop your knees over to the left side. This is quite a deep spinal twist. If it feels like it's too much, you can just extend your left leg. Or you might bring your knees a little closer to the chest to move deeper. You can keep looking up towards the ceiling or maybe turn to look towards the right hand. And then inhale, legs will come back to center. Just unravel your legs, cross left leg now over right. And then the hips move to the left as you drop your knees over to the right. And try to keep your left shoulder down if you can and turn maybe to look to the left. And close your eyes. Deep, deep breath. Bring your knees back up to center. Uncross your legs. Extend them out and find Shavasana, your final pose. Turn the palms to face up. Let your ankles and your knees and your hips just roll open. And you stay here for as long as you can. If you need to continue with your day now, just draw your knees into your chest as you roll to one side. You'll bring yourself all the way back up to seat. Thank you for joining me. My name is Claire. Namaste.